For nearly a century, Jewish day schools have been a part of the fabric of educational options in Massachusetts. However, they haven't been studied nearly as much as public schools or other independent schools. The Pioneer Institute commissioned this study to find out more about the history and status of Jewish day schools in Massachusetts. In the early 20th century, Jewish learning mostly took place in supplementary schools, either in the weekday afternoons or on Sundays. However, there was widespread dissatisfaction with the ability to provide intense Jewish education, and many saw this as leading to the weakening of Jewish social and communal bonds. In 1937, Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik founded Maimonides School, which was the first Jewish day school in Massachusetts. Since then, a number of Orthodox, conservative, Reform, and pluralist Jewish day schools have opened throughout the state, totaling now 20 schools. While they represent a variety of religious practices and pedagogical methods, they're united by their mission to serve every child regardless of their ability to pay and promoting Jewish communal and civic values. Jewish values are at the core of a Jewish education. These values are not only a core part of the curriculum, but they're actually put into practice. Values such as chesed, meaning kindness, tzedek, meaning justice, and tikkun olam, meaning repairing the world. Students at Jewish day schools across the state involve themselves in activities such as raising money for charitable causes, working in soup kitchens, and even mentoring inner city youth. Unfortunately, Jewish day schools are now experiencing what many are calling the day school tuition crisis. Jonathan Sarna, professor of American Jewish history at Brandeis University, calls it the perfect storm. An increasing number of families who require financial aid with a decreasing philanthropic base of support. A recent survey showed that 71% of families enrolled in Jewish day schools said that they had to make quality of life sacrifices to keep their children enrolled, while 77% of families not enrolled said that they didn't enroll their children in Jewish day schools, primarily because of the financial situation. The increased need for financial aid has caused tuition to go up, which is primarily impacting the middle-class families. Wealthier families are able to afford the increased tuition, while families at the lower end of the income spectrum rely on financial aid. It's the families that are in the middle that are being squeezed out. Every Jewish day school in Boston provides financial aid for their students. Some schools as much as 85%. However, it's not clear how much longer they're going to be able to provide the level of assistance that they're providing now. In the last decade, enrollment in Massachusetts Jewish day schools has declined by 50% more than Massachusetts public school system. If Massachusetts is committed to providing the education that best fits the needs of every child, we're going to have to think innovatively about how to expand educational options for families who can't afford them. The anti-Catholic Know-Nothing Blaine Amendment in the Massachusetts Constitution prevents public funding of private parochial schools. However, there are options that may pass constitutional muster, like scholarship tax credits. Both Rhode Island and New Hampshire have scholarship tax credit programs, which allow businesses to receive tax credits in return for donations to nonprofit scholarship organizations, which in turn fund low-income students to attend the schools of their choice. The goal of our education system should be to provide the education that best fits the needs of every single child. To that end, public policy should ensure the widest possible access to the schools that parents choose, including Jewish day schools.